Welcome to the Cherry Purls podcast. This is episode 79. Is that the right number?
Yes,
I want to say it's 80, but that's probably wrong.
79.
I don't know anything.
I don't believe that.
We are a knitting and spinning podcast. I cannot believe we're almost at 80 episodes. We are coming to you from right outside New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are super happy that you're joining us today. So I am Robin.
I'm Mary.
You can find me as Teenybutton on Instagram and Ravelry, and you can find my Etsy shop, Teenybutton Studio, where I sell hand-dyed yarn.
On Ravelry, I'm Snippin' Full, and on Instagram, I am Cherry Purls Mary.
And we have a podcast group. That's where you can find the show notes for this episode, as well as links to everything that we're going to talk about. It's going to be linked down below, and you can find it on Ravelry under the groups tab as Cherry Purls Podcast.
That is true.
So I'm gonna start saying this at the beginning. I think we talked about it last time, somewhere hidden in the episode, but I do have a newsletter for Teenybutton Studio. So if you'd like to sign up, I'm trying to send 3 emails a month, just about. I don't want to spam people, but it is a reminder for those who have forgotten the Harry Potter Club in the past. Mostly that's what it's for, and also a little preview for some of my updates. So if you'd like to sign up for that, I will go ahead and put the link in the drop bar, in the down bar. There was some trouble finding it. It's not on my Etsy page. It's linked on my actual website, which is teenybuttonstudio.com, and it's also linked to my Instagram profile. So I'll just put the link down below because that just seems easier. So if you'd like to sign up, I'd love to have you, and I'd love to share what yarns I'm dyeing with you and all that good stuff. So we have just realized, or you have just informed me, that we have hit our 2-year podiversary.
We have.
Which is crazy sauce.
So we started March 11th, 2016.
March 11th, yeah, and we were I remember we were trying to get an episode out before we went to DFW for the first time. Now,
yep, and
we're going back again. So some things don't change.
I don't know. We're still going to try to get a episode out.
Yeah, I think we can do one more before we leave. But
that's a plan.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to host anything like we did last year.
Do a giveaway.
Yeah, because we're going out of town and I'm show dyeing, and there's not really a whole lot of extra time in this month. But we just want to say thank you, especially to those who've been with us from the beginning. We love doing this. It's awesome. It keeps us motivated. I remember.
Definitely. I
know, I gotta finish it so I can show it on the podcast, or it kind of keeps me accountable. So
yeah. Well, it helps. Push your way through some things. Sometimes you don't feel like working on something, and you're like, no, I really want to show this because I'm excited about it. So it's a great motivator, and we've loved all the people that we've met either in person or online. We have just. I don't think when we started, at least didn't realize when we started that I would come in contact with so many amazing people. I just have that's the part of it I've enjoyed the most, is all the people that we've met or spoken with. And I do get a kick out of when people see us and they want to take a picture with us.
It's happened a couple of times. It's kind of crazy.
And they want to take a picture of us, and then I'm like, well, come get in the picture. And they're like, oh, I'm just a regular person. And I'm like,
yeah,
me too.
We're just sitting in the corner of my bedroom, and it's filthy. If y'all could see, we're sitting in this dirty little room, and we're just talking to the computer. So
well, I wouldn't say it's dirty. It's messy.
It's messy. Yeah, I'm a messy person. But anyway.
But it has been wonderful being with y'all. It's really given us a lot to look forward to on a bi-weekly basis now. We did do weekly at one point.
I'm glad we're doing bi-weekly now.
Yeah, it got to be a little bit much, but we've had fun thinking of things to share with y'all, doing our little vlogs and trip updates and just everything, and look forward to many more years.
Cool beans. So
thanks, guys.
Thank you. We appreciate it a lot. So I didn't even know. I knew it was coming up, but I thought it was later in the month. But cool beans. 2 years.
Yeah.
So
maybe would have thought.
Yeah, I know. I would have thought, because we're sticking to it, because it's brought us together too.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. We're close to begin with, but just something fun to do together. So.
It is. I agree.
Moving on from that. Cool little segue we're doing here. We will be at the DFW Fiber Festival. They are doing a podcaster meetup. Are you going to try to go?
I am not sure. I don't think they have firmly made plans as to what time it's going to be. But I think it is on Saturday. And Saturday I have a class with Stephanie Pearl McPhee. So I'm not sure how the timing of that will be. But if you are going to be at DFW, please come by and say hi. Both of us will be in the booth.
I don't have a booth number yet. They haven't given out the maps.
Yeah, the vendor maps aren't out.
But I am Teenybutton Studio. It'll say it on the thing. That's where we'll be.
Yeah, so. And I'll be there. So if you want to come by and say hi, we'd have to
take a picture with us.
And we'll have our Cherry Purls podcast pins to give away, and
stitch marker swap for both of us.
I'm iffy on stitch marker swap. If I do, I'm not going to have a ton, but I'm always happy to swap what I have. So if I've got some, I will be more than happy to share. And we'll see how it goes.
I didn't have to make any. I have a lot like recycled that I just don't use, and I'm sure somebody out there would like them. So
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna keep, But that is going to be the 5th through the 8th of April. Almost said January. That's not right. So come and say hi.
Yeah, and if you're not sure what DFW Fiberfest is, go on Google and just search for DFW Fiberfest, and all the info will come up.
Yeah, DFW Fiberfest, dfwfiberfest.org. So
okay, yeah, cool,
easy to remember.
And they've expanded the show this year, so the space is bigger, and they've added a lot of vendors, and there's going to have the Vibratory. Am I saying that correct?
I think so. It's like a testing lounge where you can try different equipment and wheels and looms and play with some of the stuff that the vendors have
I'm
so
excited
kindly
about
donated
that. I'm not a spinner, but I like to watch people do it. Mm-hmm. So I think that might be fun. If I need to go and take a break off of the bad knees, then I might go hang out over there. So
we'll park you somewhere.
Oh, I'll park myself. I'm hoping to get a little vlogging in while we're there. We're not planning on doing something like we did last year where we go and we meet the vendors and have a little discussion or a little brief talk with them.
I just won't have time.
But what I am hoping to do is in the time that Robin doesn't need me in the booth or that my knees are giving me trouble, I do plan to try to go around and show you a little bit of the festival, as well as just talk with some people that I meet and ask them, kind of like what they're working on and
what you're wearing,
what did they
Everybody
buy?
wears their finest knitwear. It's like rainbow.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's an awesome show. This is our 3rd year attending. This is my 1st year vending. But even if I wasn't vending, we'd be going again because it's a great show.
We love it. It's run by these wonderful volunteers, and everybody there is super wonderfully nice. And, that everybody talks about how it's like a big family, and that is completely what it feels like. So
hopefully we'll see you there. If not, we'll have some fun footage to share with you.
Yep.
So we have another winner. For last episode, we drew winners for our Crew of Yarniest Knit Along. Finished objects and chatter thread. One of our finished objects thread winners did not come forward, so we are going to redraw. So would you like to show the prize? It's right there.
Where?
Middle shelf.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's where it was. Okay, so here is the prize.
Oh,
it's this really cute. Oh, not that? Okay. It's this really cute bag. Little drawstring bag here, and inside is a beautiful skein of yarn because we did the Crew of Yarniest Cal, and you had to knit something in purple, green, and gold. So it's this beautiful skein of yellow yarn, and this is
gold.
Oh, sorry, gold.
Is this purple, green, or gold?
Gold. And this is Elizabeth Lavalode Silky Flamme, and it is 50% Peruvian wool, 50% FS alpaca. What's FS?
I have no
idea. Fine something.
Superwash?
Maybe. No. I'm not going to say it's superwash, but anyway. Here's the tag. This is what it is. This is the brand. And I'm trying to see how many yards this is. It doesn't say. Or at least it's tucked in.
It's like a bulky to worsted.
Yeah, it's definitely a bulky to worsted weight.
Or worsted to bulky, I guess, because the worsted is small.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a thick and thin.
Yeah. So our winner for that was...
Oh, sorry.
Post number 44, who is LaRouche 40. I guess it's L Rouche.
Yeah, LROUSH.
It'll be on the screen.
40, and she doesn't have a name posted on Ravelry, so
I think she's Lori.
I'm not 100% positive.
Pretty sure, yeah.
It sounds familiar, and she's posted in our group several times.
I know who she is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So anyway, congratulations to you.
Yay.
Please notify. You want them to notify me or you?
Doesn't matter.
Please notify one of us.
Either one.
Before next podcast if this person doesn't come forward before the next podcast, then we will take this prize, put it back in the prize box, and hold it over for another drawing.
Yeah.
Okay. So congratulations to El Rouge 40.
So we have a coupon code for designer Kath Thorley. It's coming to a close. The code is Cherry Purls 20, and that's for 20% off of all of her patterns.
That's good till the end of the month.
Yep. So I think we're ready to move on to finished objects.
I think so. That's the end of all of our administrative things.
Oh,
so okay. I printed out the show notes on back. I am back and front. So yeah. So do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? Because I have quite a few. Yeah. Okay. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I went to Florida for spring break, and what I brought, not spring break, for spring training, and what
I brought for spring break.
You're never too old for spring break.
I'm too old for spring break.
Well, it depends on how you spring break. Am I too old to be hanging out in the bar? Yeah.
I am too.
But anyway, what I brought with me was socks, and so I finished this pair of socks while I was gone, and this is some yarn that I knit up previously, and it was one of those mirror errors where for some reason I thought I was using the right size needle, and I was not. So as part of the Ravelinics this year, I frogged the skein and I re-knit them.
You didn't block them yet?
Yeah, they've been blocked.
Oh, they still have a little bit of kinkiness from
Yeah, I know. What?
You dropped a stitch.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, what is that? You dropped a stitch. I'm going to pull it up. Oh, my goodness.
It's really a drop.
Yeah, it's really a drop stitch.
Oh, I dropped a stitch. Okay, I got to go fix that. Thank you for finding that.
I need a stitch marker. I'll get one in a minute.
No, it's not going anywhere. Okay, but anyway, so I had knit these previously on the wrong size needle, and I frogged them up, and because of the way that I weave ends in, I wasn't able to save all the yarn, so I decided to go ahead and add in another colorful heels, toes, and a little bit on the cuff.
The pink is fantastic with
this.
I
love this pink. The pink on this, oh shoot, I didn't write it in my show notes.
Is this the Yarn Carnival?
I think it's Yarn Carnival. I'm almost 100% positive.
Frippery.
It's Yarn Carnival in her 3-ply high base, and the colorway is Frippery. I will put it in the show notes. I see that I didn't, but I'm almost like 99.9% positive that's what that is. But I went ahead and finished these up on the trip. I did not. Had to frog a bunch of skeins that I knit on wrong size needle, and I soaked. Yeah, socks. And I took a lot of them and I soaked them in water and weighed them down a little bit to try to get some of the kink out before I re-knit them. I did not do that with this yarn, and it was a real pain to me to knit yarn that was that kinky. One of tries this year is knitting off of a sock blank, and now I'm rethinking that because I wasn't loving it. Mm-hmm. And if a sock blank is that kinky, which I'm assuming it would be because basically that's what I was doing, I may not be doing that because I just really was hating on it, but I loved this yarn so much.
Yeah, I mean, you could always get a sock blank and then unravel it.
What's the point?
And stain it up and then weight it down.
But
and then rewind
point?
it.
What's the point?
It was dyed in a sock blank, so it has that look.
I mean, that's just
if you like the look of it.
That's just too much work. There's too many beautiful yarns out there to have to do that much processing before I knit it. Leave it alone.
I'm pulling it out, so I'm worried it's going to get sucked into the black hole.
It's not going anywhere.
It's making me nervous.
Okay, you're okay with having, like, when you're okay, like, having some live stitches loose?
Yeah.
This isn't going anywhere. See, it's funny how that doesn't bother you, and I freak out having live stitches off the needle. And this isn't bothering me because this isn't moving anywhere.
I suppose so. I don't know.
You see the stitch Robin found? Thank you, Robin. I appreciate it.
What would you do without me?
Oh, I just sit in a corner and cry. So I'd have holes in my socks for sure. So this is my first finished object.
You want to go again?
Sure. So while I was there, I brought a second skein with me. This is another pair that I had to frog and re-knit. This was one of the skeins that I had previously soaked and weighted down a little bit, and it was much more of a joy to knit. Mm-hmm. Again, I had to add some yarn to it, and Robin gave me one of her 20-gram minis in Butterbeer, which I thought was a great match to the gold that was already
I don't know how that's happened. It's like almost perfect.
Yeah.
Like look at it with the
I mean, it was a really good match. This yarn, the main yarn here is turtle toes in her what does she call it? Striped turtle toes is the base. They're perfectly matched skeins. Thank you. I can't remember if they were skeined or if they were cakes, but anyway,
they're skeined because I have a set.
Okay, they're perfectly matched, and so I went ahead and reknit them using the main color and Robin's Butterbeer, and I'm very much happy with them. So this was kind of like the thing that solidified it for me that I'm not loving knitting from a sock blank, because I don't mind knitting with yarn that's been previously knit with, and it wasn't like it was regular yarn. I mean, it obviously still had some kink to it, but it wasn't crazy like the Elephant Festival was. So yeah,
life's too short to knit with yarn you're not enjoying.
Well, yeah, and I didn't want to hate on him because I loved that yarn, and I love this yarn too. So
LSU,
second pair of socks.
Okay, I'll go this time.
All right.
So I have finished my Thalia shawl. Ta-da!
What have you decided about the tassels?
I can't decide. It's patterned by Andrea Mowry, and her pattern has tassels on the corners, and I am undecided if I want to add tassels to mine or not.
I think it would look fantastic with the tassels.
I think they're a little flashy for me, but I think I like the way that they look on the shawl. I did an Instagram poll, and it was like 60-40, so I thought that was too close to make a decision on.
Well, it depends on which way you want it to go.
I don't know. Like, usually whenever I do that, I know which way I prefer people to vote, and that's how I know, like, in my head what I truly want. But
now, you did modify this pattern a little bit,
yes,
right?
I did, instead of the garter edge, I did an I-cord edge at the top and an I-cord bind off.
So it was an I-cord cast on?
Yeah. It's similar to the garter tab, but you do an I-cord. Stephen West has a really good tutorial in his meandering shawl. I kind of went off of that. I didn't actually reference it, but I've done it, so I know how to do it.
I love an I-cord bind off.
I know, and I like the bind off. I did the bind off in a DK. The pattern is written for a sport weight. This is actually my Lush MCN Teenybutton Studio fingering weight, but it is a little bit thicker, and I went down a needle size, so it's a little bit smaller, but it's still a good size. And then I did Squish DK, my Teenybutton Studio Squish DK and Chicory for the bind off, and I really like the effect of the bind off.
I love the way those two go together.
Yeah. So
the main color is your Magnolia Blossom.
Yeah, Magnolia Blossom. I made it to be a sample for DFW, but it's actually really,
I like it.
Really cozy, and it fits really well. So it's a good size. But I don't know. I'm not sold on the tassels.
Well, tassels are something that you can add or take off.
Or take them off, yeah.
Depending on the way you construct your tassels, you might be able to do it to
detachable.
Where you can take them off or put them on.
Maybe so. I did do this. I've noticed, like, one of the benefits of doing the I-cord edging is that you can hide whenever you, because I used two skeins and I alternated because even though it's a speckle, one of the skeins had a little bit more green and one of the skeins had a little bit more brown. That's just the way it goes. So I alternated so you get a nice mix, and I think it really helped. But the problem is that my tension was funny. So whenever you fold it exactly in half,
it's supposed to be symmetrical.
Yeah, this side is a lot shorter than this side by 3 or 4 inches at least. So
interesting.
You could really tell whenever it was on the blocking mat.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
But now it's not really noticeable, especially not whenever it's on.
No, I don't think you can notice that at all. Especially when you tuck the ends in.
Yeah, that's usually how I wear it. So
if you know you're going to wear it like that, I don't know if I do the tassels.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Because you hide your ends.
Yeah, I like it to look a little bit like a bandana. So I just have one tassel on the front. I don't know.
Did you make the Red Robin shawl with tassels?
I did.
How do you like the look of that?
It's okay. I don't really wear it because it's a little small. Okay. Which is a shame. I had a lot of yarn left over. I don't know why I didn't just knit bigger. It's one of those patterns you can adapt.
You could have knit bigger, and I'm the same way. I could have knit mine bigger, and I didn't, and now I wish I did.
Yeah, I think that's something that's happened to me more as I've gotten older. I've been less impatient about finishing. Like,
I don't think I was impatient.
I'm definitely impatient. There's a shawl I'm knitting right now. I'll show you in a second. But I actually added some rows.
I'm more confident in my knitting to adapt a pattern to my needs.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Because I'm more comfortable if I need to come up with something or just continue the pattern on. I don't follow the pattern exactly in many cases. Mm-hmm. So I'm just more confident with that, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. But I really love it. Tassels or no tassels, I really love it.
It turned out great.
Andrea Mowry needs to get on making some charts, girlfriend.
We'll talk about that later in the podcast.
Yeah, actually, I had to reknit this section at the bottom. That cool textury arrow bit.
Right in here?
All of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here and here.
I had to reknit it twice. The first time I had gotten to the division between the two sections, and it wasn't lining up. And so I ripped it back to the beginning of that section, and then I knitted again, and then I did the same thing. Because the way that the pattern is written, it's like, let me show it up close. At one point, the little arrows change direction, like you kind of invert where they are, but it's not marked on the pattern where that happens. It just changes. Like there's no like, this is where you're going to knit, alternate, whatever. And if it was on a chart, I could see visually what row they changed on.
Yeah, and you could see visually that there was a change.
Yeah.
I see that. Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, my stitch count is just off. I'm just going to keep going them all in the same direction because I must have missed an increase or whatever. So that's what happened both times until I realized I had to sit down and look at the pattern and highlight the row and be like, this is where it changes.
Yeah.
You have another pattern, another object.
Oh, yeah, just one more. Baby hat.
Baby hat.
Just a preemie hat that I'm knitting for one of the SSK knit-alongs since we'll be attending SSK. This is Baby Bee Sweet Delights, and the colorway is Baby Blue.
That's so cute.
And basically I just cast on a bunch of stitches, made sure it was divisible by 4 so I could do my ribbing. Mm-hmm. Knit till, I don't know, just knit to a certain point and said, that looks good.
It'll fit some baby somewhere on earth.
Yeah.
It'll fit some baby.
Yeah, it's kind of, people, every time they see you knitting a hat, they assume that you know who you're knitting it for. And they just kind of look at me strange when I'm like, I have no idea who it's going to.
Yeah.
But knitting and giving it away feeds my happy, so I do it. Yeah. So that's it for me.
All right.
Works, finished objects.
You got 2 whips?
3, actually. I forgot about this one.
Oh, you want to go first or me to go first?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So this is what that's a mini skein. Sneak peek of a mini skein set coming soon. This is the pattern I was referring to. Take you out every time. This is the pattern I was referring to a minute ago where I said I added extra rows.
Hold it up?
Sure. This is the right side, the one that's facing you. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is my Half Moon Oracle shawl by Kristen Lair, who is the Yarngasm podcast and Wool and Vine Yarn. And I cannot remember where I was last time. I think I was in this brioche section. So that is how much I've knit. It's actually backwards. I was incorrect.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought it looked.
Yeah, you were right.
Because usually I put my stitch markers on the front.
Yeah. Me too, usually. Yeah, so...
That's what was throwing me off.
I know with this pattern, she says you're going to use about 50 grams of each cake. And I want to use a little bit more.
I don't need to keep holding it in front of your face.
No, you don't. It's okay. So I did, I added some brioche in this bit. There we go, that bit. There was supposed to be 10 rows. I think I have 16. And then I'm going to add extra lace rows in this color. So this color is Dreaming Color Jilly in Get Down Greeny, which cracks me up every time. I'm actually done with these 2, except for the bind off, I think.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like a little bit of lace and then the bind off, and that's the end of it.
Oh, I didn't know you were that close.
Yeah, it's a smaller semicircular shawl, which is why I'm going to add more lace.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way that it's written. But,
sure. No.
Teenybutton Studios Solo and Dementor's Kiss. And this one is Stranded Dye Works. Come on, you.
It's getting blown out there.
Stranded Dye Works Solo and Hazardous. So, yeah. Teenybutton Studio. I'm going to show you my own thing. Dreaming Color Jilly. It was felted to itself.
You just do not have
really bad luck. I think I've talked about this.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
Yeah.
I love how your little cactus goes with
I know, it's so cute.
Your little cactus stitch marker going with it all.
Yeah. So I'm on the lace section. It's really simple lace. It's only 2 rows, and they're almost identical. On one row, you do a different decrease. So that's it. So it's
Is this the same as this?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's you just alternate. You do
You hold it up and then
the
you drop it.
stockinette, the brioche, the lace, the brioche, the lace, the brioche, the lace. So
yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I really like it. I will be knitting it again. It's an awesome pattern. It is written and charted.
Did you drop something there?
Oh, that's just I missed a yarn over on the brioche.
Oh,
it's on the back. You're not going to notice. Or it is on the front.
It's on the front.
I don't care.
I just wanted to make sure when to drop stitch.
No.
You know,
I'm catching a lot of drop stitches. That's why we podcast, because if we didn't podcast, we wouldn't catch drop stitches like that.
No,
so we never look at our knitting close enough. So I'm really enjoying knitting it. I don't think I would ever make her circular shawl just because I don't.
Complete pie?
Yeah, complete pie. Just because I don't wear circular shawls. I think it's beautiful. I just don't want to commit to that much knitting for something I don't really love the shape of.
I just don't think I would wear that shape. I mean, to me, you have to fold it in half anyway, really, to wear it. And in that, then it turns into this shape.
Somebody made it into a skirt.
Oh,
and it's amazing.
Now that would be cool.
It's incredible, yeah. So not that I'm ever going to do that, but that would be the way that I would do it if I was going to do it.
Oh, that would be cool.
But I love this pattern. I will be knitting it again. It's very... The thing I really like about it is that it's spaced. Like, it takes a lot of pages, but it's spaced out. Like, my brain can make sense of it. Like, each section, like, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and each of these is a phase. So, like, you kind of, like, know in your brain what's coming next. And there's, like, set up rows in between. So, it just really well written.
Cool.
So
she did a good job.
And I'm going to be knitting another one that just fell on the ground. Thank you. Dropping stuff.
Show notes, escape.
Okay, so that is my...
All right, I'm going to have to move the table just to get it back underneath the thing.
It wasn't underneath the thing.
That's why it fell, because it wasn't held down.
All right.
Sorry.
You want to go next?
Oh, okay. Well, I started these the other day. Several of us had knit group the other day and went up to Baton Rouge to go visit our friend Natalie. Denise and Rick, I met Robin and I up there, and Natalie up there, and I wanted something to work on, so I decided to start another sock.
You had to do some surgery.
Yeah, well, sometimes I don't care if my socks are matching, but if they're striped, I'd like them to match. So it took me a while to figure out where the match was on the 2 skeins of Felici that I have, and I thought I brought... It might be under all this. I thought I brought the label, because I don't remember what the colorway is.
Oh, I don't have that one. I have this one. They look similar, but it's not the same.
Yeah, they do look similar, and I can't. And I mean,
that's not Candy Shop, is it?
No. I don't know. It took a hike. I pulled it out, and I thought it was also... I don't remember what it is.
It'll be in the show notes.
It'll definitely be in the show notes, because I forgot to put it in the show notes. That's why I don't know what it is. And sometimes you have to do show notes and you still forget something. But anyway, this is just my basic sock with the rounded toe. I'm going to do the fish lips kiss heel, and then I'll do the little gusset that Mina shows you how to do in Mina's vanilla sock recipe.
Go Mina.
And it'll just be your general sock.
Have you seen her new pattern?
The shawl? It's beautiful.
The Primrose Yarn Company, they're doing kits. I'm seriously considering it.
Mina's brilliant.
I know. We love Mina.
Anyway, yeah, I just started one sock. I worked on it yesterday at a baseball game.
You have a baseball game issue. You got too many baseball games.
No such thing. Yeah, we had a 1-hour rain delay, and I brought my knitting with me, and while we were standing around, I was so happy to have something to do while we waited for the rain to pass and then them to clear the field so we could start the game. And I knit all the time at baseball games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see...
They do stitch and pitches at some of the major league parks.
Yeah. We don't have a major league park near us. I really, really wish we did, but we don't.
Get on that, New Orleans.
Gives us a good reason to travel.
We have a minor league.
Yeah, we do.
Baby cakes.
Yeah, I liked them way better when they were Zephyrs. I don't get the baby cakes. Anyway, so yeah, that's a sock that I've started. I haven't started the second one, but I will soon.
Yep. Cool beans. Yeah, usually you do them concurrently.
Well, I get to a certain point, and then I start the other one. Usually I get the toes going on both of them, but because I think I was barely past the toe when we finished knit group the other day, and I drove yesterday to the baseball game. I didn't want to be at the park doing a toe.
Yeah.
Just because I have to pay attention, because part of my problem on Saturday when I started it is I just kept knitting and didn't pay attention, and I had too many stitches in my toe, and I had to take back. So in most cases, I try to get the toes done, and then I have a lot of just plain knitting for a while. So that's why I've just started the one.
You said plain knitting, and the first thing I thought of was like knitting to bring on a plane. It would be good plain knitting, too.
Plain. I've done socks on PLANE.
Socks on a plane.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Much better than snakes.
So I'm going to show my sock whip. So this is a sample that I'm doing.
I love that.
This is my Brunch at Commander's colorway.
I may have to get me some of that.
And it is part of a kit that I was doing with Lynn at Sunshine and Bubblegum based on the Commander's Palace restaurant, which is in Garden District. That's where it is.
Uptown.
And
so this is Brunch at Commanders?
This is Brunch at Commanders. It's getting blown out. That is Butterbeer.
Better?
Yeah, I guess. It's really, yeah. That's what we get for having the light right here. But
if we didn't have the light, we'd be in the dark.
Yeah, but that's fairly accurate. It's bright blue and white with pops of yellow. And there is a bread pudding souffle progress keeper.
Because Commanders is known for their bread pudding
souffle. Yeah. This is a first draft. The other ones look a lot nicer than this one. So, you know.
They don't need to know that. It looks
fine. It looks really dark. This is
just baked a little bit more.
Well, this is my first foray into polymer clay. And so this was a learning experience because what I do is I coat them. I what's the word? Not airbrush.
Paint?
No, it's not paint. I use I use pastels.
Dust?
Yeah, I bake them with pastel, like a brown and a gold, and I layer the colors on there under the bread pudding sauce that goes on top. And for this one, I did that before I put it in the oven, and the oven changed the color of the pastel, made it a lot darker. So now I cook them before, and then I take them out, and then I put the pastel on them, and then I seal them. So that's why this one is darker. But
it was just baked longer. Sometimes that happens. You have a cake that you bake longer, a muffin you bake, cookies you bake longer.
Yeah. This is a mutant sock because
that was crazy.
This is freaky. So these are Knit Pro Zings. I have knit 2 pairs of socks with these exact needles. They are US size 1 Knit Pro Zings.
And one is what you knit all your socks on,
US
regardless
one is
of
every
what brand.
I almost exclusively use metal needles. And so my normal sock is on 68 stitches because I like them a little bit looser, and I have a size 10 foot, size US 10 foot, so I cast on 68 stitches. So I cast on 68 stitches with this, and I'm like, that looks kind of big. But I'm like, I've knit 100 pairs of socks on a size US 1. Like,
maybe I'm seeing something.
Yeah. So I got about here, and I tried it on, and I had this much extra fabric on the side. Like, I could pinch off.
And then you put other sock next to it, and you're like,
this is massive. Yeah, it was huge.
It's the same stitch count.
It's the same needle.
You've knit with your soft sock base.
I have 10 samples of this exact yarn. I've never knit this yarn with these needles. Maybe that's it. But I've knit other fingering weight yarn with these needles. So
that's the only difference. You've never knit the soft sock base with that needle?
These needles, yeah. But I've knit other people's, other indie dyers who I think carry the same base, but just not, I don't know for sure if it's the exact same base from the supplier. Because everybody gets their yarn from like the same 2 suppliers. So it's pretty good odds that I've knit with this same base and somebody else's brand.
It's just weird.
Yeah. So I pulled it out. I pulled it out to the increases.
Witchcraft.
And I'm like, 64 will probably be okay. 64 was not okay. So I've got to about here, and I'm like, I could still pinch that much. Like, that's just too much.
That's too loose.
Yeah. So now I have 60, and it's still a little bit loose.
Something's
and like
up.
my gauge is not wholly at all like, that's my normal sock gauge. So
have you actually looked at your gauge? Like, have you actually figured out your gauge on this sock and then figured out your gauge on your other socks?
No, it probably is off. That's the
I
only
would
thing.
be
That's the
interested
only
to
reason.
find out what those numbers are.
Yeah, it's freaky. It's like a black hole. I don't know.
It's witchcraft.
Yeah, it's like an enchanted forest sock. I don't know. It's freaky. So,
well, the bread pudding is magical there, so maybe it's coming out on your socks.
I've never been there. Did you get bread pudding whenever you went?
I don't remember. It's been a while. I've only been once.
We should go back for research purposes.
There's a plan.
And Lynn and I were talking about, we got to go so we can do some research for our next kid.
That works for me.
Yeah. I
write it off as a business expense.
I'm happy that it's fewer stitches rather than more.
Sure.
So
because I know you don't love whenever you're knitting on somebody else's socks that have a bigger foot.
Yeah, Larry needs to stop having feet.
Or cut some of his off.
Yeah, he needs to just have one foot. It's just,
I think he likes having 2 feet. Maybe you can just get him to shave down the sides.
Yeah. So that's my mutant sock. But that's weird. It's freaky.
Have y'all ever had that happen? Do you know why?
I thought you were talking to me at first. I'm like, yeah, I just showed you. But
well, usually I don't refer to you as y'all.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe I will from now on.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on.
Me neither.
You go.
Last thing, I just felt like showing this. This is my granny stripe blanket. I have not shown this to y'all in quite a while.
It's so big.
It is.
You actually used it for its intended purpose the other day.
I did. I'm trying to find this stinking little ball of yarn.
This is massive. It's so heavy. It's like,
where is this little? Okay, I don't want this to go down the street and around the corner. So, this is the granny stripe blanket by.
This is the top. Okay, this is the top.
Yeah, that's where. I think her name is Megan Johnson. I did not put that in the show notes. That's really cool, Mary. But anyway, this is knit with
everything.
Fingering scraps and minis. And I measured it before the podcast. It is 58 inches.
It's kind of narrow.
Well, my gauge has changed. The last time I showed it to y'all, I was here. So this is how much I've knit since I've talked to you. I have shown it on the podcast.
Crocheted, not knit.
Crocheted. And let's see. Where is it? There's supposed to be a little loop of yarn. Do you see it?
No.
Oh, here it is. This little loop of yarn. It is one of my bingo squares on the Crafty Bingo this year. I wanted to knit at least 5 inches on this, and it's way past 5 inches, so that's what this little scrap of yarn is right here. And you can see how much my gauge has changed. This is
whoa.
This is what it was when I started.
That is crazy. Oh my god.
I know. This is my very first crochet. I learned how to crochet beginning of last year because I wanted to knit this blanket.
Oh my god.
You can see how much my gauge is.
You sure you didn't go down a hook size?
No, I have not changed my hook size. I promise you.
That is insane.
I have not changed my hook size. So, when you have this flat, it does tend to go like
a triangle.
This. So I'm going to knit until it's 60. I'm going to crochet until it's 60 inches, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to.
You can do short rows in crochet, right? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to do some short rows on the side to square it up, and then this pattern has you put an edging around it, a crocheted edging around it, and that's when I'll start the edging.
This is crazy sauce.
I know, isn't it?
This is absolutely insane. This is bonkers.
So yeah, it does.
Are you more stressed than you were last year?
No, I'm faster, and I think that I'm just I pull I pull it tighter.
This is crazy. I can't. Are you sure you didn't go up a hook size?
I did go up.
I would have gone up a hook size once I noticed my gauge was getting smaller.
No, I'm okay with that.
I would have pulled it back and been like,
nope. I'm okay with that because this is a project for just laying around the house. It is a project to feel comfortable and cozy in. And because it's definitely not something I'll be giving to somebody until I die, then somebody can inherit it. It's just that got away anyway, didn't it? It's just going to be something I'm not worried about. So it'll be a nice little story. Look how her gauge changed. I don't know. But anyway, I have loved knitting on this.
Is this Wolfsbane?
I don't think so. I think this is part of one of the minis that I got from Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
And I don't remember exactly which one it is, but I did a yarn swap with her, and I got a lot of really cool yarns. So I can
move your thing now.
Move my little stitch marker.
That is insane.
Well, next time I show it, though, I'll be at the point to where I'll be working on the edging. Yeah. I don't show it that often, obviously.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but I thought you'd get a kick. You hadn't noticed how much my gauge had changed?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I had a lot of problem with it starting off, and I know I was really, really loose because I had to knit the foundation chain multiple times.
We got to represent the crocheters.
I don't do a lot of crochet, so it's not in my head. But I had a lot of trouble crocheting the foundation chain loose enough, and I did go up a couple of needle sizes, I want to say, for the foundation change, but then went back down. I think I am knitting this on a size F, and I guess I just hold it really tight. No, I'm not knitting it on an F.
You're not knitting it at all?
I think I did the foundation chain on an F, and then I'm crocheting F or a G. Trying to think. I think I have it in my notes, but anyway, this part of it right here is knit on a D, size D hook. See, not a needle, a hook. I got that part right. So yeah,
crocheters don't have as much representation as knitters. So.
But I have loved working on this.
Look at that. Side to side.
It looks like it's two different blankets.
It does.
Because of the size.
It's at least twice as small, at least.
Yeah, but it's
half the size.
But the top and the bottom of this isn't twice as wide or twice as narrow.
But it's so stretchy, and this is
stints.
You could shoot a bullet at it when you go through. Don't actually do that.
It'll be sleeping armor when it's done. But anyway,
stand up on its own.
I have loved working on this.
It's really pretty.
I just thought I would show it because it's been fun, and I like all the mix mash of colors, and it's bright, and it makes me happy. Yeah. So yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
So that's it for me.
So I have one more, and I actually started this on Saturday, and it is now Monday, and I've almost
gone very quickly. You were like, I forgot how quick hats were.
I know, I always do. Every single time I knit a hat, I'm like, man, this is going really fast. But this yarn, we went to the quarter for my birthday
a couple of years ago.
2 years ago, I think.
2 or 3, I can't remember.
And we went to the quarter stitch. And they had some Malrios, which is what this is, Malabrigo Rios, in the teal feather colorway, and that is actually really good.
That is a beautiful color.
Yeah, it's actually a tiny bit greener.
Mm-hmm, it is greener.
Yeah, but I'm knitting the Caramel Brulee hat by Alicia Plummer.
Still shows more blue.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Caramel Brulee hat by Alicia Plummer, which is funny because we have a new addition to the family. We have a ferret that my brother adopted or bought or whatever. And his name is Creme Brulee. So
he's an albino ferret.
Yeah. This is not a hat for him because he would eat it because he will bite everything that moves.
You could probably put 4 of him in there.
Yeah, he's a little guy. But this is my teal feathered brulee hat. It is cabled. It's by Alicia Plummer. I think I said that. Mm-hmm. It is cabled. I am cabling without a needle because I'm not no baby, not no chicken.
Oh, I'm a baby. I'm a chicken.
It's only a 4-stitch cable, so it's not.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
I don't like knitting stitches out of sequence on the needle.
Yeah,
I'm okay with a cable needle.
I actually am worried I'm gonna run out of yarn. I had to frog a project. I bought 2 skeins of this to do this funky hooded cowl thing. This was before I really started getting into indie dyed yarn, right before.
So it was before you were dyeing.
Yeah, it was before. Well, I was casually just playing around with it. And so I call Mal the gateway drug because I have a ton of it, and it's kind of like your first foray into hand dyed, kettle dyed.
Oh, Malabrigo is so beautiful. I know. It's so wonderful to work with.
I have a second skein of this. I know I do. I do not know where it is. So I've torn my yarn shelf apart. Not up here. The worsted is down at the bottom. I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't find the second skein. Maybe just leave it in hibernation until I find the second skein. I could dye something close, but I don't have a worsted base. And I don't think it would look good with a stripe or anything.
No.
So
I don't think it's the type of hat that you would really, it would look like, hey, I ran out of yarn.
Yeah. So it's hard to see on the top of my head, but it's not too far away.
Yeah.
From being done. And the pattern says to knit, I think I'm almost where the pattern says to start the decreases.
I like the way it's knitting up.
Yeah,
I really like that pattern.
I do too. It's simple, but I really like cables that don't have this reverse stockinette between them, kind of just like loose. Mm-hmm. It's kind of trendy right now, all those big fur pom-pom hats with the cables like this. Mm-hmm. I think I am going to use a pom-pom for the top. I think I'm going to use the gray one that you gave me instead of the white ones that I make, because the white ones, I think the gray would go better with this color. But yeah, I'm not too far away from being done. Starting the decreases. So that is kind of, I was just getting the itch to knit something that wasn't fingering weight. So that is what I'm working on.
Hopefully that other skein will show up. Have you put Pearl on the job?
I have not.
I think Pearl could find it.
Yeah. You want to show stash?
Sure. So while we were gone in Florida for spring training, we made a little foray out to, I think it's Winter Garden?
Winter Haven or Winter Garden?
I think it's Winter Garden.
Winter something.
In Florida, and went to the Four Purls. And while we were there, I made a bit of a purchase. So I bought 2 skeins of yarn. The first one is called Emma's Yarn. And this is their house yarn that is dyed by one of the daughters of the owners. And this is her Practically Perfect sock. So it's an 80-20 blend. And the colorway is Dewdrop.
It reminds me of like China.
It does.
Or like
deft wear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the second skein that I bought is String Theory.
They didn't have that whenever I went in January, or I didn't see it.
Well, when I was doing show notes, they're actually calling this a sport weight. This to me isn't reading sport weight.
It's a thicker fingering. What's the yardage?
The yardage says that it's sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, it doesn't really read sport.
It is a thicker.
It reads like a thick fingering.
Yeah, heavy fingering.
But anyway, I think it's beautiful color. The colorway is called Free Radical, and it comes with a little cute stitch marker down there. So
that's an awesome price for self-striping yarn.
Yes.
I don't know if you should show it or not, but
$24.
Yeah.
And the last thing I bought, and I have been curious about these, are these little jewel design closures. This is one of her pedestal button closure backs. Where the back of it unscrews, and
I've seen those. You put it in your shawl.
Yeah, so it's got a leather, 2 pieces of leather, and then it's got one of these little screw posts. And you unscrew it, and you put this front part into your shawl design. So it's I wouldn't use this on a fingering.
It's a little thick for
unless you had a lace shawl.
Yeah.
And then you put this.
You could use it for this, something like that with the.
Yeah, as long as you have, it definitely would depend on what shawl you're using it on. It's not going to be for every shawl because, this. Not sure just by looking at it. Maybe that's a 6 millimeter hole. And then you screw this back in, and then you've got this nice little closure that's gonna stay in place.
Yeah. It's magnetic? No, it's screw. Where's the other piece? Oh.
It's a post.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
And you're unscrewing Yeah, so I think these are interesting. I've seen people use them for closures on sweaters, kind of like shawl pins. Mm-hmm. If they have a scarf, they want to make it more into a towel or an infinity scarf. They'll use these. So I just thought it was interesting, and I picked up one of these while I was there. They've got them in 2 colors. I got the darker one. The other one is more of a natural color like leather beige. Before they do any staining to it. So I thought it was interesting. And this is the medium size. They do have smaller. I don't know what the large looks like. The small is pretty small. It's about the size of what the back looks like. So if you're interested in the size of the small, it's about the size of that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not really sure how the big is because they didn't have any of the large sizes in the store.
Yeah, Four Purls is a great shop.
It's really a nice store.
That's where I bought my 4 skeins of La Bien Aimée.
Yeah, we just happened upon it. Yeah, we lucked out. They were actually having a yarn crawl while we were there, but I knew that I was getting ready to go to DFW, and I really don't need any more yarn. So
Need is relative.
money is relative too, and I can't justify. Hey, I'm going to go on this yarn crawl and drag Philip all over, parts of Florida.
Yeah.
So I can do this yarn crawl. If it were just you and I, yeah, we would be all over it. But I do feel some guilt dragging other people around on my yarn tasting adventures, and so knowing that I had this other thing coming up, and we've got multiple shows coming up, I just really couldn't justify.
Well, with Larry, he just dropped me off, and then he went to a thrift store because he's really into thrifting.
Yeah.
So he was good. So.
Well, Dad doesn't do that.
No.
He sits around and talks to people, and they were actually doing a class. Bristol Ivy was there teaching a class.
Yeah. You didn't tell me that.
Oh, I thought I did.
No.
Yeah, Bristol Ivy was there teaching a class in the back, and it was really a nice store. They have a really nice seating area, so Philip was able to sit around and
park it.
Yeah, and he was actually not obnoxious. I think because he has a daughter who's a yarn dyer, he likes to chat up the people and see if they may be potentially interested, and
even whenever I'm not interested in wholesaling or I'm not able to wholesale.
But I think he knew, because they have an in-house yarn dyer, he knew that they probably would not be interested in potentially bringing in a lot of other indie dyers, just because they only have so much space for yarn. They're carrying all these different weights and such, and they had quite a bit of Emma's yarn, and I think they were happy with what they had. Yeah.
Well, I'm not super interested in wholesaling right now because I'm doing so many shows. I could do a smaller order here or there, but it's just not something I'm pursuing at the moment. But
well, it's got to be something that you decide to do, not something that Dad says, "Hey, this is a great idea."
Yeah. So yeah. I have placed it. You ready to move on?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm done.
I placed an order a while ago from Nora George Yarns. I've been watching her podcast and catching up with her podcast. I think she's adorable and I think she's hilarious. And I really love her Harry Potter colorways. And as you probably know, I run a Harry Potter club, and she does as well. She has a club called the Mrs. Weasley's Knit Club. And so I thought it'd be fun to try somebody else's Harry Potter club. So I signed up for her February colorway. So if you've not received your February colorway,
you should have received February.
I mean, she's in England and I'm in the United States, and I've gotten mine. So,
but when does she ship February?
She shipped it. I mean, I got it 2 weeks ago, just about.
So you get some change. You get the February one in March.
Yeah, she ships it at the end of the month.
So that's different from how you do yours, as well.
Yeah, I do mine in the middle. Yeah, but not too far, like a week or two off. So if you haven't received it for any reason,
but you get yours in the month it is what I'm saying.
Unless you're international. I'm international, so maybe people got it in the month. I don't know.
That's true.
So what was I going to say? If you haven't received it for whatever reason, look away.
If you don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah. So this is her colorway for February. And it's called the Quibbler, and that's why I bought it, because y'all know I'm a fan of Luna Lovegood. Oops. And it came with this black mini. I don't think I would use the black mini with that.
I mean, it does have a tiny bit of black in it, right there.
Yeah, I still don't think I would use the black.
To me, it's just too stark.
Yeah, but it's gorgeous. So
it'd be like black heels,
yeah,
black toes.
I think I would use the pink that you used for
some of that pink?
Yeah, the heels and toes, yeah.
Oh, I got some more of that pink if you want it.
But it's gorgeous. This is one of the ones, like, hers are so subtle that it's, like, hidden in the skein. And you don't really know all that's in there until you unwind it.
I mean, I see where the black comes from. It's just that I
wouldn't use the black, personally.
Yeah.
But you know what? I could have used that black mini skein a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
So having an extra black mini skein is never a bad idea.
Just knitting with black is not my favorite.
Just for heels and toes is okay.
Just hard to see the stitches.
Yeah. So that's not the prettiest reskeining job, but
it's fine. It's yours.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna put the mini skein in my mini skein jar, and just leave this on the shelf the way that it is. But that's the Quibbler. And then I also picked up a skein of Bill and Fleur Get Married. I didn't say this one is on her Super Sock, which is her 75-25. And then this is on her Gold Sparkle Sock, which is 75 merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. So I'm going to take the skin off of this one too. This one's called Bill and Fleur Get Married. And I just love those pastel colors.
You are a pastel girl.
I know. And I think...
which works out well because I'm a jewel tone girl.
Yeah, which is interesting because I think I look better in jewel tones and you look better in pastels.
Just not what we're doing to.
It's not the way the cookie crumbles. So I think it is beautiful. And I'm thinking about doing some sort of faded pastel shawl with some of my stash yarn. So maybe pair this with the Stitch Together Studio. I have a Vivid Yarn yarn ink in there. I'll talk about it more whenever the time comes, but that's what I'm thinking. Maybe a Dotted Rays Marl or something. But it's very pretty. I love the red.
It is.
Yeah.
She did a great job with that.
So that is my order from Nora George Yarns, and she sent me a little Kinder chocolate. Yay. Which didn't make it to this point.
Didn't make it to the podcast?
Yeah.
I did make it to you, but then
it didn't make it to the actual.
It was processed quickly.
Lord, yeah. So I have been shopping some D-stashes.
I don't know if y'all do that, but you can find some goodies there.
I've been shopping a lot of D-stashes because
that's what you do.
That's what I do. So I found this. She's actually doing a D-stash on Etsy. Her name is Apron Addict.
This is what it is.
And I got this Stranded Dye Works sock blank for a ridiculous price. It was such a good deal. I'm so excited. And this is my favorite sock blank I've ever seen, except for the Andre Sunitz one that I have.
Well, they're not the same at all.
No, but I love it so much.
This
I would use the black mini with.
Yes, this would look great with the black mini.
Yeah. So it is Paint Stained Apron is the colorway name.
This is perfect. Yeah. Because Robin has got a tablecloth under her dye station.
It looks like this.
And it looks like this.
Yeah. I could actually just leave sock blanks under there and just that would dye them for me.
Hey, there's an idea.
I don't know. I'm sure that's not what Amy does, but
I think that's cool.
I think it's gorgeous. I think this might be my birthday socks this year.
Ah.
Yeah. I usually do monkey socks for my birthday. But I
think they look cool in monkeys.
Yeah, maybe so, maybe not. But this isn't my first sock blank because I have one right there. I've actually never knit with a sock blank, like unraveling a sock blank as I go. So this may be my first foray into sock blank knitting. I did knit with a yarn that was caked up that I got from Knit Crate.
That was originally in the sock blank.
Which was kind of disappointing that I didn't get to unravel it myself, but that's just the way that they sent it. So.
Well, it's not like you can't tell it was in a blank.
Yeah, it was all kinked up in the cake, but yeah, I really love it. It's actually not as pretty now that I've rewound it, but it's gorgeous. I love it so much.
It's beautiful.
So I did order something else from Apron Addict, but I can't find it. So I will show it on the next podcast whenever it shows up. I think she still has some more yarn left. I know she was also destashing, what are those things? The jelly rolls. Don't do that. What are you doing? The jelly roll things, like the fabric. What do they call them? Charm packs? Fabric?
Oh, it's fabric. Yeah, charm packs.
Yeah.
For like quilting.
Yeah. She has some of those. She had a ton of hedgehog at one point.
I know you put Lynn and Natalie onto Rick and Natalie
and Denny. Yeah. So if you have a chance, she's Apron Addict on Etsy. She has some really awesome yarns. So that is what my stash requisitions are. Throw me something, mister, for this week.
Yep. Or since we last podcast.
Yeah, for last podcast. I'm so used to saying this week. But I think that's it for knitting content. But
except
we have
for the lanyard.
A question. You want to go?
Well, we have alluded to this a couple of times in the podcast. Obviously, I am a person who prefers written instructions in a pattern, and Robin likes charts. So we'd like to know, what is your preference whenever you're knitting a pattern? Do you like charts? Would you rather have written instruction? Does it matter to you? I just know my brain doesn't process symbols the way it processes even abbreviations. I don't know. I think it's the difference between just my brain just doesn't work that way. And I have no problem memorizing a series of written instructions, but I understand that some people don't like that. They like to be able to look at a picture and then work off of that, which is how you are.
The written instructions look like a big, messy jumble to me. And, I can sit down and, read it word for word, but then I lose where I am on the line, and it's, I just...
Yeah, and see, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So everybody processes information differently, so we're just kind of interested in what your take is. What do you prefer, written or charted?
Yep, let us know. You can leave a comment in the YouTube video, or you can come and respond on Ravelry. We're more likely to respond on Ravelry just because I forget to check YouTube. But you're welcome to respond wherever you like.
Yeah, we're curious.
Yeah. So that is it for the content.
Knitting content?
Yeah. I am not going to do a shop update section this week because there is no shop update. There was one last Friday, the 16th, but most of the yarn from that is gone. So if you're waiting for Voices Through the Veil, that was the update for Voices Through the Veil. I do have more, but I'm bringing it to the show with me, so anything I have left over will be in the update after the show. Let me check what day that's going to be. DFW ends on the 8th. We will be back beginning of that next week. So there will be an update on Friday, April 13th. Look at that.
Friday the 13th.
Yes, so that will be a very large update. I'm not going to put everything that I bring back from the show into the update because I have another show coming up in the next month or so. 2 months.
You have more shows coming up this year.
More shows coming up, so I'm going to have some stock rollover. It depends. I'm bringing different things to different shows, so I need to just sit down and plan out what's going where. But I will make sure to put Voices Through the Veil in the shop. I will make sure to have Brunch of Commanders because that will be the first. Is it the first time it's offered a la carte? I think. I can't remember
look at me.
I can't remember if I put it in the shop by itself yet. I honestly can't remember. I'm sorry.
But this will be one of your first opportunities to get
Yes, yeah. And I will have bread pudding soufflés. I have a feeling that those are going to go pretty fast at the show, so I may not have those left over.
Yeah, we'll just see what you bring back.
Yeah, and I'll show on the podcast. I think we'll be podcasting that weekend, so I'll show what went into the shop whenever we podcast.
You're real good, though, at posting things on Instagram.
Yes, I will be posting on Instagram. I'll probably do a story, like show everything, either a video or like one by one each colorway on the story. So if you would like to come follow me on Instagram,
I would check there first, just in case. We would like to say that we're definitely going to podcast on a certain date, but sometimes things come up and we're not able to do so. So, but you're very good at keeping Instagram updated because that's something you can do quick and fast, and we don't have to mesh our schedules like we do with a podcast and everything.
Yeah. So, hopefully, if there's something you want, I will have it for you. If there's something that you'd really like to see, please let me know. I can't guarantee anything. And I really can't do any custom orders right now because of my show dyeing schedule, unless I have something already done. Like if I have it already, I'll just you can have it, because I have more time to dye more if I need it, or if not, But
just you'll work it out somehow.
Yeah, just let me know if there's something you want to see either in the update or at DFW. There's not a whole lot of dye time left for DFW, which is what I'm about to go do right now. But that is my life, and I love doing I love my job, so I love dyeing. I didn't come out very eloquently, but y'all know what I mean. Yeah, so I really enjoy, it's getting me a little frazzled, I'm not gonna lie, but I like seeing it all together, it's and fun. We laid it on the bed, and we rolled around in it, and we,
Nobody
put it
rolled around in it.
You weren't in there whenever I was rolling around in it. Me and Denise were.
Did y'all really?
I did. Yeah.
I wish I.
Yeah, it was 400 skeins on a bed, a queen size bed, and I was like,
that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I missed that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I missed that.
But I think that's all we have. So, if you want the Harry Potter Club, the April Harry Potter Club is in the shop, and it will be until the end of the month. I will show the March colorway on next podcast. So I think that's all we have to say this week.
That's all I can think of.
All right. Well, thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for 2 years. We had a great time doing this, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.